Art2Ride Associate Trainer Video Assessment 1, Charmaine and Capri. So I've done a couple of videos over a couple of days. Today was a reasonably relaxed work session. I have been playing around with wearing gloves and holding my whip in different positions and just trying to find balance and rhythm with myself. But I've taken on board and the advice that I've been given and trying to keep Capri on the circle and really getting him stepping into the outside rein from the inside hind leg. So we're tracking to the right, which is his worst side, but he's doing reasonably well considering we haven't had much consistent training in the last 5 weeks. So we're pretty much back to starting over again. But I really like the walk at the moment and the rhythm that we're getting. Even though he's a little distracted, I try to maintain that outside contact with the rein. I have my inside rein pretty loose, so I'm really just working with the outside rein in this session. I'm just, continually just tapping him over to move that inside hind leg over. Here I'm asking him to step and he does it quite nicely. He slows down and he's picking his feet up. So I was really happy with that. And you can see he's starting to understand moving underneath himself, even though he's evading quite a bit. He's slowly getting there. So I know that we've just got lots and lots of walk work to get our rhythm correct, get our aids correct, and really get him understanding, lifting his back and his core. He's got a nice swing at the moment, which is quite good. I'm asking him to step over. I have a very slack inside rein. Really just trying to ask him to really accept that outside rein contact. And he's not doing too bad. We've had quite a bit going on in the last 5 weeks. So he's handling everything pretty good. As am I. I'm quite stiff from work, so my body's quite rigid and not as responsive as I normally am. So here I'm really just asking him to really move over, and he's still seeming to cut me off and really evade stepping underneath himself. So let's just continue and ask him to move on. So I'm not too bad with the reins on this side. I can catch him before he evades most of the time, but he's getting pretty good at knowing how to not step his hind leg under and to sort of wiggle around a little bit, which is kind of annoying, but that's something I have to learn and deal with. So he's slowly loosening up. He hasn't had much training in the last 5 weeks due to work commitments and the fact that he is just overcoming being footsore due to a very, very poor farrier trim. So we've got probably another month before his feet become much better. So I've been dealing with quite a bit. But I've waited 4 weeks before I've done any work, so what you're seeing here is what's been done in the last 5 days. So we're pretty much at the beginning of everything again. And here I'm just, really trying to ask him to move over, but he's just really being stubborn and not wanting to go into that outside rein, and I think that's due to his feet being quite sore. He's not being able to carry himself like he normally does. So I'm kind of a little disheartened because we were going so well. But I guess that's what happens in life. You have good things happen and then something just changes automatically. So he's moving a lot better here. And he's moving over a little and then he evades. He's quite a smart boy. So just trying to keep him on a nice arc is quite challenging in itself. I'm trying to keep my 20-meter circle a 20-meter circle, but it's not a very good circle. But I was happy with that because this is where we are, and he's quite happy to work with me today, which is a good sign. I know he's not his normal self, so I'm just trying to take things quite slow. I think the biggest challenge I find with Capri at the moment is because he's so eager to jump in and do things, is to actually slow him down, but teaching him to lift his back and engage his core at the same time is teaching me lots of things I never knew. So now we're going to change the rein, and I'm just trying to get my hands correct. So now we're going to be tracking to the left, and this is my weakest side but Capri's strongest side. So you can see he immediately goes into a nice walk and he's got a nice swing. I really like the way that he's picking his legs up and starting to lift and bend those hocks a little. So that's a good sign, even though he's not 100%. But you'll continually see me trying to move my position and my hands. Here I'm just asking him to take that outside rein, but he cuts me off, and I'm just going to go with him because, yeah, we haven't had the consistency in training like I wanted it to be. But we're okay, and I'm quite happy where we are. So I'm really loving the way he's walking at the moment. I've got a good steady contact. He's really trying to ignore me today, but that's okay. So I really like the fluidity that's really coming along. Our work in hand is our best gait at the moment. I haven't done too much in lunging and riding as such because I really want to get a good feel. Like here I'm asking him to step over and I've got a really light contact on the inside rein. Really just asking him to really accept that outside rein and to bend. So yeah, he's not very loose, not as loose as he has been before. He's finding it very hard to bend today. And that's due to the fact because, yeah, we haven't done any training because he was unsound in his feet and he still is quite a little bit toey. So yeah, just a little bit disappointed with my farrier. Here I'm just asking him to really move to that outside rein. But slowly we're getting that walk. I really like when his hips are moving up and down, and he's really got a nice a wobble, I'd say. He's a bit wobbly at the moment. He's not as engaged as he can be. So I'm quite happy with this session today. only asking for a little bit today. I'm not trying to overdo anything. I'm just trying to keep us in a nice space and work together and enjoy it. So here I'm doing some lunging, and today I was trying to stay quite close to him. This video I made before the work in hand, so I'm just really trying to get the feel for getting Capri to move out on the end of the line and to stop crowding my space. So I'm continually just asking him to move that inside leg out and for him to take the contact, but without running away with me. And here you see he accepts a little bit and he's moving over slightly. But again, everything takes time, so I'm not rushing anything, just taking my time and trying to learn exactly and correctly what is best for me and Capri and how to obtain and understand that we're doing it correctly. And here I'm just tapping him on the belly to move that inside hind leg out, and he ignores me. So I know I need to be a little bit more precise and maybe perhaps a little bit firmer and tell him he needs to move over a bit more, but I'm being a little bit lenient because we haven't had a good 5 weeks. So I'm sort of just staying behind his movement because I want him to relax into the contact while he's walking, and he could have a bit more activity, but this is quite nice. He is tracking up, so even when he lifts his head, I was quite happy with him and the way he was moving just then. And I'm just checking to see that my camera is still recording. But we are slowly understanding how to get his core to lift. We have had a few little moments, and I know that I need to work on the relaxation a lot more and just focus on getting those hind legs moving correctly, and the rest will come easily. And here he is being opinionated and wanting to nip me, so I just put my hand up and ask him out of my space. And I don't blame him. He's not had a good 4 weeks, but he's a strong boy and he loves working with me. But I really am wanting to see the underside of the neck become a lot more loose and supple than it is right now. Even though his top line is developing, it's not as loose as I'd like it. And here I'm just asking him to move over, and he does it quite nicely and easily, which is a good leg yield at walk. I don't have much contact on the rein at all. Just asking him to move with the whip near the girth. And again, I'm just staying close to him at the moment. I have been working on watching a lot more lunging videos and watching technique, and just realizing that the horse really can't do much until they really are nice and supple and loose. So until I get Capri back being as loose and supple as he has been before, then I know that I won't get much lateral work, not any good lateral work, and that's what I'm trying to achieve. I'm looking for correct movements, not just any movement. So yeah, here he's just short of tracking up, so You can see he's quite straight, he's not arcing on the circle, but that's okay, we all get there. And I just ask him to walk again, so we're not doing a proper 20-metre circle, I'm sort of just moving him around at the moment, getting our feels for the whip and the lunge rope. And here I'm just asking him to move over again because he's trying to evade and come into my space in the circle. So, and I immediately just go back to walking with him. And I've asked him, please step a little bit more underneath you, which he does, which is a good thing. So, he's a little bit stiff himself, we both are, but I can see this and realise this. You can start to see he's getting a bit more flexion in his hocks. His walk has improved so much that I don't think I could even imagine trying to work with hollow horses anymore. And there you can see he lost his footing, or if something gave out, but he's still moving along quite nice. So we're in the process of trying to get my arena redone, the footing nice and balanced and equal throughout my arena. That's why I work down this end of the arena, because it's the best part of my arena where we both get sound footing and it's more balanced and even for both of us. So I'm really liking this walk right here. I know that he can really lift up through his back and really push those withers up, but once we get back to being able to train like we were before, 4 to 5 times a week, then he will really get nice and loose and supple again. But I am recognising that the more we do this, the more correct his body becomes, more symmetric instead of asymmetric. And that's the same for me. The more I work with my left hand, which is my slower hand, the better I become with applying aids and being able to train my horse correctly. So after that lunging, I thought, well, might as well try some mounted work and see how we go. Capri loves being ridden. He absolutely adores it. He's such a silly boy. So straight away I can tell you that my stirrups should go down at least one more hole. They're completely pushing me into a chair seat. I've shortened them too much. So I'm just trying to maintain a steady feel for his mouth with both reins equal in my hands. I'm still finding my feet, I suppose, with getting him to understand that the contact should stay nice and light and soft, and that will only happen from me being able to get him to lift his back, and that will come when he's stronger. He's not strong enough to be ridden out of the walk. He's very inconsistent, and I'm sitting as light as I possibly can. I'm just sort of lifting myself gently off the saddle and just allowing him to find a balance. Here you can see he's rushing and really hollow. So I'm just trying to keep him relaxed and just walk. And I know he's not strong enough. but he tries. So here he's stretching a little, which was really nice. I've just widened my hands to be able to keep that feel with him, and to try and keep him stretching as far as he can. So he slows a little, which is fine. I was too slow to keep the contact. And again, he just pulls himself along with the shoulders. At this stage, I'm not using too much leg aids because he's not strong enough simply to do any lateral work at all with weight on his back. And this is only the 4th time that I've actually been on him in, coming up 6 months. The 2nd time in the saddle, the other time's a bareback. So here I'm changing the rein, and he's looking better. He's slowly loosening up, and I'm just trying to maintain my center and not interrupt him at all. My body is quite stiff and rigid, and that's a byproduct from my job. So it usually takes me a couple of weeks to really loosen up to be able to be as loose as I should be. But yeah, you can definitely see my stirrups could go down one hole. And here he's trying, and he's really pushing himself, and it's a lot of work for him. I'm just trying to follow his mouth as best I can. It's actually not easy at all, especially when you want to keep the same consistency of rein. I'm still trying to figure out where all my hands go, and everything's new, but I'm not as collapsed today as the last time I was in the saddle, which is a bonus. But yeah, as you can see, we're not ready for ridden work. We need to work more on some lunging and really getting Capri to relax and be able to maintain a nice engaged walk. And he's slowly going down, so he is loosening up, and you can see that he's really moving those hind legs to try and push me up. And I'm just letting him find his space. I'm not punishing him or telling him that he can't come up. He needs to come up because he can't carry me, and I know that. We're not really ready for this yet. But my boy is such a pleaser, he'll do anything for me. And I was quite happy with that, and that's all the riding I did. So hopefully in another 6 months we will have a nice consistent lunge at walk and a nice consistent ridden work at walk. But we'll just take it as it comes.